Hey guys, have you ever wondered how to build a food delivery app like UberEats? Maybe you have an idea for a certain audience, like UberEats for grocery deliveries, pharmacies, or even dark or ghost kitchens, and you're trying to understand how to create an app like UberEats and how much it costs. Even if it's your first time building an app like this, please keep watching, because I'll show you the steps to follow, the methodology, and how to develop a food delivery app like UberEats. And I'll even cover the pricing models, so you'll finally understand why an UberEats clone may cost $75,000, $120,000, or even $250,000 and higher. And also why the pricing of these is different, to help you avoid making any deadly mistakes in your startup. My name is Denis Babic, and I'm the founder and CEO of DBT Limited. We specialize in software consultancy and development. So without further ado, let's get to it. The idea of food delivery has proven to be a sustainable business model. You've got the big companies like UberEats, as well as a bunch of other successful startups. I'm talking about Grubhub, Doordash, Postmates, Delivery.com, Instacart in the US, Just Eat, Deliveroo, Food Hub, Glovo, Food Panda in the EU, and even Delivery Hero, Lieferando, Lifehalt in Germany. There is quite a lot because the concept works. You see, the pandemic has changed human behavior, and as a wonderful side effect, we are seeing a new and increased demand for food delivery services. If you look at it as a startup idea, a food delivery app is a low-risk play, one with the model investors can easily understand, especially if you're tapping into a real need in your market. Now, once you start breaking down UberEats or any food delivery service business model, there are 6 key elements that make it work. First is the client app for people to order food. Second, you have the vendor app for restaurants to manage their menu, prices, and delivery zones. And then a driver's app for couriers to collect orders and do deliveries. And then there is a super admin app, so you can manage all of your restaurants, users, payments, refunds, and more. And sometimes there may be a kitchen management app and POS terminal integration. As we look inside the client food delivery app, you'll find functions like list of restaurants, working hours, delivery zones, menus, prices, and more. If you take a look at the table, you'll see these listed out, so you can get an idea of how many hours your software engineers will need. And now, onto vendor app. Sometimes this is called restaurant admin zone, as it has many unique functions like managing dishes, delivery areas, incoming orders, working hours, and so on. Inside the driver app is where couriers can access the list of orders, restaurants, and payments. But these days, there are many third-party providers who can easily handle the deliveries. You have GetSwift, Pedals, D-Track, Toucan, and more, so you don't need to worry about building this yourself. The kitchen app allows new orders to come in, as well as listing the cooking times, declining or postponing orders, and flagging when a particular order is given to a courier. And sometimes you may need to consider POS terminals, and the different solutions you will need to properly integrate your app with these for payments and processing. Finally, you will need a super admin zone. In short, this is the tool that allows you to manage all of the restaurants, payments, commissions, users, orders, refunds, and more. When you need to help understanding how to build a clone like UberEats, our specialty is food delivery application. We've built catering services, dark and ghost kitchens, local delivery app for vegans, and many more. So we know exactly how to create an app like UberEats. And where many people get this wrong is they don't allow time for pivots, implementing user feedback, or cutting useless features. You'll also need time for bug fixing, quality assurance, product management, ongoing maintenance, and risks in your initial planning stages. So to give you the best possible understanding, I'd like to share the actual development hours needed, typical rates, and what the final price would be to create our app. Oh, and I'll also share a way for you to save up to 60% on your software development, because your investor may need you to have an in-house development team, and they'll generally have calculated the cost in the line with the US or EU estimates. But here's the exciting part. You could cut 60% of your food delivery app development costs by building your product in Ukraine. It's a little known secret, yet many startups are already tapping into this incredible opportunity. GitLab, Grammarly, Jubal, and more are being developed in Ukraine by Ukrainian developers. Wouldn't it be great to cut your costs without sacrificing quality? Now, one of the easiest ways to start is launching a basic minimum viable product. You'll have a mobile app for customers and a web-based admin portal for restaurants, which typically costs between $75,000 to $120,000. Like the UberEats iOS app or UberEats Android app, doing an MVP like this helps you quickly build a custom database, generate revenue, and move to the next round of investments. After that, you can work on new features like a courier app with automatic delivery price count, a kitchen app, POS terminal integrations, or even a cloud infrastructure expansion so you can grow into new cities and countries. So when it comes to building your UberEats MVP, you can break the software development process into 10 simple steps. It all starts with an UberEats Lean Canvas business plan. Now, this is very important, because if you have a business with many moving parts, before you can start pushing ahead, you need to see the big picture as well as each individual part. We start by identifying your target audience, exploring the kind of problems they have, and learn how they are solving their problems right now with an alternative or your competitors. I'd recommend installing every food delivery app you can, placing orders, and getting to know the platforms, from any issues to negative customers' feedback, so you can determine what a good and bad interface solutions looks like. In the next step, you'd want to reach out to business owners and restaurant managers to talk through their process workflows and uncover information on their commission fees, concerns that they have, or what might convince them to start using your service. Once you've done this, you need to set your business apart and identify the unique value proposition you'll provide to users. Maybe it's a special offer, promo discounts, unique food, or a new type of delivery that doesn't exist in your market yet. You should also consider your unfair advantage. Maybe you already have a list of target companies who order food daily, and because you know the decision makers personally, you can easily convince them to switch to your food delivery app. Think about who will become your early adopters, as well as how you plan to structure your income, expenses, all this sort of thing. Because you see, if you complete Lean Canvas right, you'll end up with a win-win solution that fulfills the need of your target customers, and that will help you to have a very successful launch. In the coming weeks, we will release another video working through a Lean Canvas for UberEats that goes into all nitty-gritty details. If you're interested to see this, click the like button below and subscribe so you can be the first to see it once it goes live. Okay, so next we have the UberEats value proposition. With this step, your main goal is to clarify the value you're offering the market and how you can become an indispensable part of your target audience life. So every meal they take leads them back to your delivery service. Now, let's imagine there are 4 food delivery services in your city. Their service quality is good, and you haven't found any major complaints in your research. Focusing yourself into a market like this is tough. It'll take time and a huge amount of money to secure your place. But what if you become a specialist, providing the same unique value while leveraging an existing food delivery business model? You could provide regular restaurant food delivery, dark ghost kitchen delivery, dark kitchen deliveries of business lunch, dark kitchen deliveries of healthy options, calories and vitamins count, delivery service for your own restaurant chain, catering, multi-delivery, products and medicine, dark ghost kitchen for groceries delivery, and so on. So let's take an example. How about delivery of business lunches for office workers? What kind of problems do you think they will have? Perhaps it's things like placing orders for a larger group of people, paying for order on one card and then the inconvenience of collecting money from their colleagues, receiving an order in a single package and then the hustle of distributing the meals. Companies may want the ability to set up corporate accounts instead of private. Some workers will want their favorite dishes and the selection regularly updated. Some workers will want healthy options targeting specific calories and vitamin counts. Now, here's the fun part. If you were to create a value proposition for a service that solves each of these problems, you'll quickly outgrow your competition and become number one in this particular market. Of course, if you have any questions, ideas, or concerns on how to make an app like UberEats, please feel free to raise them in the comments down below. I'm personally keeping an eye on all of these and would be happy to go into more detail because I really enjoy helping you understand these concepts. Next, we tackled the marketing for a food delivery service. For starters, I'd recommend building partnership with the most popular and famous restaurants in your city. Ideally, you want them cross-promoting your app, informing their customers about the new delivery option. You'll need stickers, booklets, posters placed in all of these restaurants. Once that's done, you will be setting up targeting advertising on Facebook and Instagram. We found this an incredibly effective way to generate your first 30 to 60 orders a day. You'll need a target audience based on geolocation in your delivery area, as well as an advertising campaign targeting people with an interest in restaurants, gourmet food, and cooking. My advice is to look at this like a collaboration between your brand and the partner restaurants with super high quality food images that create an instant desire for your users to place an order in your app. Another strategy you can use is Google Ads, based on branded keywords for restaurants in your city. You will find there is many people who check in their favorite restaurants provide delivery services, and this is your chance to turn them into a customer with a special offer or promotion. Now, this is important. Promotions and special offers are critical for your business because one of the most complicated and expensive parts of your business is turning someone who is just surfing the web into a customer. Getting them to install your app, sign up, place an order, and enter their billing info. For this to happen, your offer needs to be too good to resist. Of course, it's completely normal that you'll earn very little or even lose revenue as you attract your first customers. The important part is creating return customers, the users who understand the value you provide and will generate regular revenue in the months and years to come. When it comes to competitor flow, it's important to not reinvent the wheel. If you are building an app similar to UberEats for grocery stores, copy the UberEats flow. That way, your users will feel comfortable using your platform, and you can focus on developing the unique features your target customers really value. But don't just look in your industry. You should also be researching competitors in different markets, like Deliveroo, Glovo, Instacart, and others. In case they have any useful functionality you can copy from and add into your business model. You know, companies like Uber have already invested millions of dollars improving their user flow. So use their learning for your gain and do what the great artists do. Copy them. Now we are going to look at story mapping. In this step, you can quickly determine the must-have functionality to verify if your idea is a good one, so that you can focus on the parts that can be completed easily and quickly released. Remember, all you need is a minimum viable product. Working on expensive or complicated features can come in later versions, like a kitchen management system, a courier app, or POS integration. Focus on getting your MVP demo of food delivery app out fast. Once you've reached this point in your value proposition research, it's time to create a wireframe map. This will help you organize all of your ideas, decide on a basic flow, and identify any missing use cases that need to be resolved. In our example of how to create an app like UberEats for grocery stores, We would add basic use cases like orders, product lists, payment integrations, tracking, etc. Missing use cases like what happens if a user orders food that's out of stock or expired. At the UberEats UI design step, you need to think about your visual identity and style, choosing colors that make your brand stand out and be memorable. You're creating an app that will become an indispensable part of your user's life, so it's important there is consistency across your ads while using your app and meeting your couriers. Every interaction needs to follow the same style and color scheme. This helps customers easily recognize your couriers when they are delivering an order. And there is an added bonus. Other people in the neighborhood will notice too, which will help attract new customers. Delivery services that do this well are companies like Deliveroo, Doordash, ChowNow, and more. One great example of this is Just Eat in Denmark. They choose a single color, orange, for their branding instead of multiple colors like their competitors, because their research found it's easier to associate a single color to Just Eat in the long term, much like you automatically associate red or blue with your favorite football teams. It's a powerful recognition strategy. Another important element is the name for your food delivery app. You need to create a short but easy to remember name and logo that is immediately related to food or delivery. The more time you spend finding the perfect name now, the less time you'll waste explaining what you do in the future. Just compare Just Eat versus Glovo, ChowNow versus Bolt, or even Postmates versus Favo. Which of these do you immediately associate with food and deliveries? Finally, you need to measure the effectiveness of your advertising. That is, how many clicks per ad you receive, how many of these clicks convert to orders, and the size of an average order. We found that all of these depends heavily on the quality of your food images. You need your images to look delicious, tempting, and motivating your customers to try different dishes from different restaurants. Your ads must literally seduce them every day. Now, onto the tech stack. The software development approach for a food delivery application is different from a classic business model because you need to consistently adjust to meet the fast-changing needs of your market. So if you're working on an UberEats for a certain niche, you will have to do custom software development to bring your ideas to life, like the grocery delivery example. In this instance, you will need to develop a scalable architecture that can easily integrate third-party services, warehouse inventory, POS terminals, delivery services, and more. This architecture setup needs to be done right from the start. Getting it wrong by cutting corners or using a team with no knowledge of food delivery can result in a painfully slow user interface, hard to maintain and non-scalable cloud infrastructure, expensive and sophisticated technology stack, unstable system synchronization, issues with POS terminal integrations, issues with payment processing, cloud infrastructure that goes offline easily as traffic spikes. Choosing an experienced UberEats development agency from day one will make your life so much easier, getting your products to market faster without all the headaches. By the way, if you're finding this video valuable and you know someone who may need be interested to watch, please take a moment now and send them the link. I put this together because of a lack of good information on how to create an app like UberEats, and sharing the hidden gems you've just found will make your friend's life a whole lot easier. So, all of what we've been talking about so far follows what is known as an agile process. And the key benefit to this type of development is speed. Being able to quickly adapt your product to fit the needs of your target market. Important thing, Agile can also lower the overall impact of your app by up to 30%. So it's critical that your project management tools are also developing alongside the growth of your app. If you're working with a small team of an UberEats MVP, you're likely looking at 4 to 6 developers who know their tasks and impact because it's still a small app. Most developers can easily push out new updates because they have a very good understanding of the entire app. At this point, simple project management tools are fine. Things like Trello, Asana, Google Docs, and even just short meetings with weekly reports can be enough for effective communication. If you implement more complex tools at this stage, like Scrum sessions, this is likely to be counterproductive, wasting 20 to 30% of your developers' time. But this all changes for a big team working on the first proper version of a product. As your app starts picking up momentum, investors' funding is coming in, and you're hiring more and more UberEats developers, you will need a more robust solution for managing an agile approach if you're trying to improve your UberEats source code, because you're going to face serious challenges throughout development. Key developers will choose to leave the team. Onboarding replacements become more and more complex. Your people won't have clear responsibilities in the project. Productivity starts dropping the development team. You see a lack of synchronization between teams and people. Reaching deadlines and delivery dates becomes a major challenge. In order to get ahead of these problems, I would suggest bringing in a tech lead to oversee each of your teams, hiring a project manager to oversee the entire project, implementing Scrum, sprints, backlog, retrospective, hosting daily stand-up meetings, and work reporting, rolling out advanced task management tools like Jira or Asana. Once you've done with all this, you can't overlook the importance of your analytics. Using tools like Google Analytics, Kissmetrics, WebVisor, Session Stack, Firebase, and Mixpanel gives a powerful insight into your number of visitors, user behavior, and you can really dive into the data and analyze each user session. Use what's discovered to support your decisions on the future software development process and take the time to do a real-time health checks into your app performance. What you find and correct may be the difference between failure and success. Okay, if you're interested in how to build an app like UberEats, just click on the link below and book a 30-minute call with me, and we can talk about turning your business idea into a winner. See ya!